Hi everyone, today I'm going to share with you all a cleansing tutorial and it's using a cleansing balm. So if you do already have a cleansing balm at home, then you might find this quite helpful. I'm going to be sharing with you the do's and don'ts. If you are new to using a cleansing balm, then you might find this quite helpful as well and pick up some tips on what to do and what not to do. And for anyone new here, my name's Pamela and I've been a beauty therapist for over 20 years now. So I have done many facials in that time and many treatments. So hopefully you'll find something helpful in this video today that you can take away for yourself. If you are new here, make sure you subscribe and I share skincare tutorials, wellness tips and spas. So let's just go in and start the tutorial. I do have a little bit of makeup on my skin today. I did put a little bit more on just for the video, just so you can see if you do wear a lot of makeup, the effects of breaking that down with a cleansing balm. The cleansing balm I'm going to use today is the one by Ishka and it's Marine Cleansing Balm. Now I do love this one. Whatever cleansing balm you have at home will still work in this video. This is just my preference and one that I've used for quite a while now and that I love. So a lot of cleansing balms can have different textures to them. Some of them might be a wee bit more, this one's a wee bit more runny when you put it on. There are ones that are a wee bit more of a thicker texture, but they all do the same job at the end of the day. So obviously the most important thing is that it's going to deep cleanse your skin. A cleansing balm is also going to give you a deeper cleanse at the end of the day. Obviously it's a thicker texture and I'll just go ahead and share with you some tips on how to cleanse your own skin with a cleansing balm. Say when it comes to using a cleansing balm, now this one, depending on whatever one you've got at home, you don't need to use too much. So for myself, I would probably say you would use about, that's probably quite generous, but I would use about that much. So like a little dollop, but I would probably say no more than that amount there. So that's what I'm going to go in with today. Now when you put it on, I think it's easier, and I've always kind of been taught that when you apply it to the skin, you warm it up in your hands first, and that just activates the ingredients and warms up the product before then applying it to your face. So then once you've warmed it up in your hands a little bit, you would then just go in and just start massaging it into the skin. Usually just placing it down first of all is quite helpful, so just kind of placing it down on the face, over the cheeks, across the forehead, and make sure you always come up the neck as well. A lot of us forget about cleansing our neck, which is very important as well if you want to make sure the skin in that nice and young as well. And if we do wear makeup on our neck, sometimes our foundation comes down here. Other products, always make sure you include your neck with your skincare products. So yeah, when it comes to cleansing, I would say when you're using your cleansing balm, the most beneficial thing to do would be to kind of spend a few minutes just slowly working it into your skin, and that'll just dissolve your makeup. It's also very good just giving your skin a little massage at the end of the day. It's very good for the circulation, helping flush out any toxins. Sometimes at the end of the day we can rush through our kind of cleansing, but I would say if you can take your time, it does kind of feel like more of like a kind of facial you're giving yourself, and it will be more beneficial to your skin. So I would say when I'm using a cleanser balm, I do avoid going over the eye area, because I do find that the skin in the eyes is a lot more delicate to the rest of your face, and it can be quite heavy. I've shown you some techniques here. When you're obviously doing a little bit of massage, it's nice to spend a few minutes massaging it in to get the best out the product. So I would say if you can just slow everything down, and just even doing some lifting up the neck is quite a good one as well when you're cleansing. But obviously kind of always go up the way, which is very lifting for the skin on the neck. So always in an upwards direction. When it comes to the chin, I would spend a few minutes as well just kind of massaging if there's any makeup in there. Sometimes people get hormonal breakouts on the chin area, so just kind of gently taking your time. I wouldn't be too rough either. Obviously I'm doing a wee bit more of a kind of massage here, depending on how much time you have. Sometimes you can take anything from like a minute to 5, whatever you feel as if you can work with at the end of the day. So yeah, I would say that I'd usually only spend a few minutes at the end of the day doing this, so it's totally achievable depending on what time you've got. And just make sure that you cover all of the product, massage it, make sure it's all kind of melted into your skin, and just spending that time massaging it in. So again, the do's when it comes to your cleansing is to warm it up in your hands first of all, and then apply it to your skin. And then just take your time massaging the product in. When we have used a lot of product on our skin, or obviously when we've applied the cleansing balm, you don't want to waste it. So a lot of people spend a lot of money on cleansing products, and obviously cleansing balms can be quite expensive, so you don't really want to rush through it and just kind of put a lot of it on and then rinse it off right away. So I would say that if you can spend a few minutes massaging it in, and always include the neck, that's obviously a tip. Always make sure you sweep up the neck down to kind of the base of the neck. Some people take it down to their, even the top here, just kind of the top of their chest. Just if you get any kind of makeup or anything, your skin's picked up there. So yeah, never forget about the neck. And I would say don't go over the eye area. Sometimes the balm can be too thick for the sensitive, delicate skin around the eye area. Spend a few minutes massaging it in. And yeah, just enjoy the experience of spending a few minutes doing a little bit of self-care on yourself. Some nice massage moves as well, just to increase the skin circulation, which will in turn increase the blood supply, which carries more kind of oxygen to the skin. And yeah, it'll just be more firming, and massage is so good for the skin. And then once you've spent a few minutes and you're finished, I would then go in with a face cloth. So I'm just going to use this one, whatever you have at home. I wouldn't do it as I wouldn't use cotton wool, so never use cotton wool to remove your cleansing balm, because you'll be there forever. It's not really the best way to remove your cleansing balm, because it is more of a rich, thick texture, and you'll go through quite a lot, and yeah, it'll take a long time. So I would always say go in with something like a cloth, face cloth, or this is just a little mitt here. So I'm just going to wet this, and then once you've got your cloth, you're just going to remove just with a nice warm cloth, warm mitt. I would say to avoid, when it comes to cleansing, anything like a cleansing wipe or anything like that, because they're not really the best for the skin, whereas something like a nice cleansing balm is very gentle, and I would say perfect for most skin types. The one that I'm using is natural and organic, and it's by Ishka. And if you have been following me on YouTube or Instagram, you'll know how much I love this natural organic skincare range. So if you are looking for a very gentle way to remove your makeup, then I would say always go with a cleansing balm. It's usually very, very gentle, but very effective as well at removing like sun cream or makeup or anything that your skin's got on throughout the day. I would say that one that I use is usually, because I've spent a few minutes actually removing the makeup, you can see how much has come off on the mitt. I would actually only do one cleanse with it. I know double cleansing is quite a big thing, but I think sometimes it's dependent on how much makeup you have on. Usually you can double cleanse if you're wearing quite a lot. I usually find that one's enough for myself, but we are all different. If you do need to double cleanse, you could go in again. But I find with the cleansing balm, because of the texture of it, it's enough to melt the makeup, and I would only do that once, and that would be enough for me. So yeah, that's my skin once it's come off, and you can see a lot of this is left on the mitt. Like I said, when it comes to the eye area, I would avoid putting any cleansing balm over the eye area, because it is quite thick and it can be a wee bit too heavy for the delicate skin around the eye area here. So I would usually go in with something more gentle. So I would use something like a cleansing lotion, like cleansing milk or something like that instead. This is what I've been using for the past like probably 20 years around my eye area. And what I do with it, this is just a simple cleansing lotion, which is very cheap but very effective. So I would never drag the eye area with a wipe or like a cleansing wipe or anything like that. I would just gently massage a little bit of this into my eyes and then rinse it off. And yeah, that's enough just to kind of dissolve any eye makeup. So the do's when it comes to cleansing is you just need a small amount, don't go too much, a little bit goes a long way. Make sure that you include your neck when you're cleansing your skin. Warm the product up in your hand first of all. Spend a few minutes massaging the product into your skin to help melt down any makeup, any sun cream, anything that your skin's picked up throughout the day. And then when you're taking it off, make sure you use a nice like hot cloth or mitt. You can see that's just a bit of lipstick as well that's come off. When you're doing that, is to remove is probably best with a hot cloth rather rather than cotton wool. Just avoid the eye area, like I said, and use something more gentle like a cleansing lotion or a cleansing milk around the gentle, delicate skin around the eye area. I would normally just go in and tone and moisturise. So I hope you found that video helpful today and you picked up some new tips when it comes to your cleansing routine. If you did, make sure you leave a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe to the channel where I share skincare tutorials, wellness tips, spas and more. Link the last video and everything I've used in the description box below as well. And you can also find me over on Instagram as well, where I share a lot more, and also on TikTok as well. So if you're over there, you can check me out as well. And thanks again for watching, and I'll link some videos that you can watch in the description box below as well. And I'll see you in the next video.